in and look in the mirror. How could you face that?
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. Oh, he's going to take a shot and got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Now Griffin on 1st down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's Griffin. And it'll be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he stopped immediately there. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Stafford dumping it off for Johnson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
The big nose tackle, Danny Shelton there to swallow him up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Hey, tag 50 left. Set. Red.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Carter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Got some real estate inside the 30. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Slow. Under.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Griffin. And he whips that one incomplete there. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it's 3rd down.
But if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there. And, look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete. But they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, tag 50 left. Hey, 22.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On second down, Johnson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
3rd and 2, Stafford. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Matthews, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Now Griffin, and incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time, and it's 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford going for the deep ball. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 39 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Stay 50.
And they'll go on the ground. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Give me radar. 22.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He's got his man. It's Andrews. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A great play there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Titans are just an extra point away from moving out in front. Lutz with the extra point. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
That return gets all the way to midfield, so we know the field position is absolutely flipped at this point. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I might think about blitzing right now to try and take field position back.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Carter. A decent run there following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. On 3rd down, it's Carter. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Now a give, right side. Carter. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. On 1st down, Griffin. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carter. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. On 2nd down, Carter. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Slow.
On 3rd down, Griffin. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Elliott puts this one through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this 1st half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
10. Like 7. Hey, red.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Griffin. Going deep here for Bryant. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
12 yards that time, and it's Cincinnati 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Here's Griffin to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. To throw is RG3. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll try the left side. Carter. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here.
Flag 32. Flag 32.
Here's Griffin. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Let's get off the field.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And the kick by Elliott is good. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. On first down, it's Stafford. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hurry! 21! 21!
On second down, here's Stafford. Underneath for Johnson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Matthews, the intended target. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Griffin. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now it's Griffin. Open man there is Malone. Give him 30 yards there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. They'll keep it on the ground. Carter, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Jake Elliott now to try the Bengals field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this third quarter. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Dancing, and he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Jordan Willis able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. After the sack here, 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. 4-6 defense, they were daring him to run the football. They ran it. A little football 101. Take us through what the 4-6 defense is, Charles.
So what you're trying to do with your big defense in front is cover the interior offensive lineman, the center and the 2 guards, and make it difficult if you even want to think about running the ball inside. If you can control them, that allows the linebackers and the safeties to run free and get to the ball carriers. And that play worked really well. No gain.
The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And they'll run it here. Back now in Cincinnati. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. And they'll go with the ground attack here. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They come out here in the eye. A carry here for the big tight end. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Titans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So a big two-point conversion attempt forthcoming for the Titans. Out of the gun, Stafford. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on.
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Griffin. That's caught. It's Malone. That'll put him north of 100 yards receiving now in this divisional round game. It's a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Slow.
Throwing now, Griffin on first down. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Ooh, I like it.
And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down now, Carter. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Fournette, a first down carry. And he will take it all in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
22, 21.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Stafford. Dumping it off for Johnson. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this.
Tag 50 left. Tag 55. 10, 10, 22. They go here. Like 2.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's caught. Shepard. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a handoff looking right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And Lutz puts this one through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. Well, sometimes you get a mismatch in these divisional round games. Not here. This has been everything we could have hoped for.
Okay, Brandon, don't get mad at me, but it's time for the old cliche.
Bring it.
Neither of these teams deserves to lose, but in the end, it's looking like the late field goal is going to be the difference in this game.
That's a good cliche. We'll let that one go. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking two plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And that